Well, afternoon. My name is Charlie Wolf. I'm a Chief Operations Officer at Uptick Studios, architecture and interior design firm. And I think, I guess what connects me to TCS is I'm also on an advisory panel for the Alliance for Innovative Educational Redesign, a nonprofit board for thinking through creative and alternative education needs. Mm-hmm. So passion for education and what it is in the community. I think that's about it.
Michael, glad to meet you.
Glad to meet you too.
Dr. Erica Salkin. I teach journalism and media studies at Whitworth University. My connection to TCS is they were kind enough to work with one of my classes, and this is my opportunity to help support their programs like they help support mine.
Hi Michael, I'm Kenji Lenny-Bowie. I work for the League of Education Voters, so I call myself an education advocate. We work to change education policy at the local and state level. And then I'm starting a new podcast bringing community leaders into a space to talk about what drives them and why they do the work they do. I've been a wellness instructor at TCS, and I'm Tammy's #1 son. So,
nice.
So you can back me up.
What's your podcast called?
Sorry?
What's your podcast?
It'll be called Breaking Bread.
Oh, nice.
It hasn't launched yet.
I've heard about a bunch of like new artists and new like podcasts coming up. We just did a project where we spoke to 2 guys that painted the Hoffman Music mural, and they're starting a podcast too where they're going to paint giant 500 feet canvases or something like that.
That's really cool.
Hey, I'm Ryan Lancaster, and I work for Spokane Public Schools. I'm the media marketing director. My connection to TCS is just covering all of the amazing things you guys do over the years, and then just wishing that my daughter might go there someday. So you guys do great work. So.
How old is your daughter? Like what grade? Oh, cute.
Got a lot of time there. Hi, Michael. I'm Ben Baird. I work for Schools Out Washington, which is a statewide agency that focuses on the out-of-school time environment, so expanded learning, childcare, all that stuff. We operate grants, we advocate, and we work in quality. My connection to TCS is I was a wellness leader person for a long time with the Peer Assistance and Leadership Program, and loved it ever since, but can't get rid of it.
Awesome. It's a great school to work with, honestly.
And you are?
I'm Michael Logan Atkins. I'm a trans mask 18-year-old. And yes, as Matthew said, I've been going to the school for all 4 years. I shadowed my friend freshman year in August, and then ever since then I've been in love with the school and love coming almost every single day. You know, not every day can be perfect, but I'm excited to get to prove to you that I should graduate this year. If I can get this to work, I would turn it off. Yep. All right. Who am I as a learner? I am a stubborn yet passionate learner. I would do everything I was told, but it did take some resistance for me because I like to procrastinate unless I have something that I'm truly interested in. But TCS has a great way of moving you around that and moving you around your challenges and having you find interest in whatever you're learning about, which greatly helped me. Like, it was the first learning style I'd ever been introduced to where they weren't just like, no child left behind, and then just gave me a math worksheet. They actually were like, oh, wow, this isn't working for you. Oh, look at it this way, and you'll be more interested and have a better final product, which I often did. My pathway is to go to Spokane Falls Community College. Unfortunately, that is my dead name, but I'm planning to get it legally changed once, I have a job and have enough money. But yeah, I want to go to SCC for 2 years, get an accounting degree in business, and then transfer to Glendale Academy. It's not really a transfer, you know that, but I do want to do a year of cosmetology, not really to open my own salon or anything, but so I can do my friends and family's like hair and nails and skincare and just be more educated on that topic, because it's been something I've been experimenting with a while, and I've gotten better at it. I cut my own hair. This is my own hair that I cut. I know it probably doesn't look great right now. It's a little too long, but I am extremely interested in that. I'm also extremely interested in art. That's, just me wanting to be an accountant. And I'll get to the art later, but this is an assignment I did this year about closing the wealth gap. There is a huge wealth gap in between African American and white families. On average, white families will make $94.96. I'm pretty sure an hour. I'm sorry, this was towards the beginning of the year. More than at the average white family, or less. White people will make more. Basically, there's a giant divide still that needs to be fixed, and I did an entire paper on it. Right here it says 1 in 3 black men will be incarcerated in their lifetime, and at 13th rate of 13 times the rate of white people. I'm talking too fast. I'm going to stop doing that. I also did this assignment in freshman year talking about helping the River City Youth Ops. It should be mentioned, right? Maybe it's not mentioned here. But it is talking about West Central kids, which was the target audience, along with underprivileged kids. And we did a study to make sure that underprivileged kids were getting access to this program and they were allowed to use it to their advantage, which showing right here, they were. They were reaching their target demographic, and we helped them figure that out. I was in a group of 4, but I don't remember who was in it because freshman year. These are 3 jobs that I could apply for right now, but I would have a much better chance at getting them if I had 2 years in business. Technically, to be an accountant, you don't need those 2 years, but I think it's better to have a plan and to have a goal. So, yeah. Onto my art. I've started doing art in like middle school, but really started getting serious about it in freshman year because of his wife. His wife is the art teacher, and she was the first art teacher to actually encourage me to make art and make it matter to me, I guess, is the best way to explain it. This is one of my little characters. His name is Charlie, named after the guy from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. These are, I guess you could say mixed media examples of my art. This is on paper, colored in, just line art. Rocks I did on a field trip thing for our art project that we're doing right now. And then just a little soup cup, because I was very sick that day. Here are more art pieces. The reason I'm not going into art is because I can only use it as an escape. I don't use it as, I can't do commissions, I can't do other people's art. Everything just comes from my brain, and it's mostly vent art, so I feel like doing it as a career would just drag on me mentally. These are also my original characters. I named them Inman after my advisor. He has no relation to them. I just really liked the last name Inman and thought it fit. But they're all just chilling. This one's more recent. In the last, I did this one in February. You can see a lot of them have the same themes, barfing up this black goo, the black goo coming up around her and on her hand. If you look at them long enough, you can see motion in them. These ones are more fun, not gonna lie. I guess you can see the theme is eating. But that is the end of mine, and that was really fast. I apologize. But I have had a great experience at TCS for these last 4 years. I've really grown as a person. I came out during my first exhibition because it was a safe place as transgender, and ever since then, I have been living my best life or my best truth or whatever. And I've had a lot of pushback against it from my dad, I'm not gonna lie, but my mom was always pretty supportive, if not scared in the beginning. Matthew was always extremely supportive. The staff was extremely supportive. I got my name changed in the systems probably the first month or 2 that the staff was aware that I was trans. And honestly, they only became aware because my friends were calling me Micheal and they picked up on it. So that's how much the staff pays attention to you. That's how invested they are in your learning and your time there. And I really appreciated that because obviously it makes you feel seen, and it made me want to do better because I wasn't just being pushed over by these people and being told that I'm not who I am. I was actually just accepted, and it felt great. So I'm really happy to have been able to go to TCS for these last 4 years, to have expanded my art, something I never would have done in normal high school because it wouldn't lead to a career. Now I do have the option to turn my art into a career, or at least a side hobby, posting it online, making money that way, making money through, webcomics or anything of that sort. But I am really excited to continue on my plan of accounting. I've had that since freshman year, which they always said, like, you're going to change your mind. Accounting is just a cop-out. Like, you're just saying that because it's easy. But no, I genuinely love numbers. I've been making Excel spreadsheets about, like, how the cost of minimum wage and how I could survive on my own since I was 14. Like, it's just something that interests me, and I'd love to do it as a career. But I really appreciate your time and my time here at TCS, and I thank you for coming to my grad events.
Thank you, Michael.
You're welcome.
Time. I'll encourage the panel to give some feedback and ask some questions and maybe dig a little deeper and pull a little more from Michael in terms of where they're headed and why.
Sorry if I stand here, the projector's not in my face.
Do you want to just shout out?
You can raise your hand if you want. I can pick you. Yeah.
So what did TCS do for you? You want to go into accounting, and how did TCS prepare you for that career?
With the evidence that I did show, I also went to a Business 101 class led by Tammy in freshman year, and they had us make a fake business, do accounting stuff, do stock stuff, basically just explore the whole field of business, being a business owner, just being an accountant, doing stock market stuff, and I chose the path of accounting because of that class. Like, I realized, like, how much I actually enjoyed numbers and that I would never really want to run my own business, but just doing the numbers for it was fun for me, which a lot of people don't have that, and I was, like, happy that I was able to enjoy it.
I think in your maybe a bit of nervousness and your
Did go a little too fast.
what you're alluding to there is the wealth gap example.
Yeah.
Your West Central study example.
They also were examples
Those
of,
were
yeah.
examples of your delving into and really enjoying working with numbers and statistics.
Yeah, it definitely contributed to that because working with River City Youth Ops was a great experience. I really enjoyed being able to work with an actual organization, especially a nonprofit organization that helps youth. Like, at the time I was, and I still am, but I was 17 at the time. It just made me happy to actually be able to help them, because a lot of the time our work that we do isn't just like makeup work, or pretend. They actually will use it and take us seriously, like a business environment. It's nice.
Michael, I have a couple of things,
Yeah.
a couple of comments and a couple of questions. One, you're very self-aware. I think is really cool. I just wanted to shout that out. Like, catching yourself saying, I'm speaking too fast. It's something that not everybody can do. And that I need to do like 4 times a day. So,
Yeah.
I do. A question about the art. So you said a lot of, I can't do commissions, I can't do this, I can't do that.
Yeah.
And I'm just curious if it's I can't or I won't. Like, does it just need to be your own personal thing? And I think either are totally okay. I just know for me, I said I couldn't do things,
Yeah.
and it stopped me from doing them when I think I really would have enjoyed them if I would have allowed myself to.
I think I definitely could, but I think it's a thing of I won't, because for me it is passion. For me it is like I draw about my relationships and about how I'm feeling and my mental issues and everything, because of course, like, being my age and my generation, of course I have something going on up there. And if I can put that onto a piece of paper after a long day of work or a long day of school or during school, which usually towards the end of the day, it always helped me process what I was feeling. And I think if I had extra work on top of that, it would take away from how special that is to me. Because I did writing for a really long time, but it was never the same emotional vulnerability.
Yeah, and I think that's awesome. And I think just own it. Own that it's not that you can't do it, it's that you don't like it.
Exactly, yeah. Which you're right at. I should have said, like, I won't do this, but it's, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that. And then another just curiosity with Glenn now, and I think it's cool that you're like, I just want to do this to see what it's
Yeah.
like. And just, is there any kind of desire to make that a career at all? Or is it just strictly, this is going to be a fun thing we'll see what happens.
I feel like the most I would do is like a YouTube channel, you know? I really don't have any interest in doing it on other people. I'm not very social, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I have a little close group of friends, I have my boyfriend, and I don't really like doing anything else outside of that. Going to the hairdresser is why I do my own hair. I got too nervous every time I went, especially being trans. You sit down in the chair and they start analyzing what's on you, and you're like, oh, I forgot that I'm even in this body, so I'm gonna go now, or I'm gonna take this chick's hairstyle and then go cut it up at home and waste $15. But I definitely want to be able to do like my friends' nails before their weddings. I want to be part of special moments. It's again just a personal passion thing.
That's awesome.
Accounting is a skill that can be applied in a lot of places. Amazon has accountants, Spokane Public Schools has accountants, West Central Neighborhood has accountants. Where do you see yourself applying that skill when you get into the professional world?
Realistically, I was just gonna apply for every place that could take me. I have.
Where would you like to?
Where would I like to? I'm gonna say like realistically. I don't know. I really don't have an answer for that. I've never considered the fact that I might have an option. I always thought like, oh, I'm just doing this career thing for survival. Like whoever will take me, I will run into their arms and stay there for as long as they keep me. I really just want the job. I really don't think it matters to me. I'm sorry if that's a bad answer.
But I heard a bit of a call of social justice in your presentation.
Oh,
Think about
definitely.
Organizations that desperately need the skills.
I definitely could look into that too. I feel like it's just actually looking and actually being like, where would I like to apply? And if I could help an organization like that, I would love to. Because, yeah, being trans and being part of the LGBT, I do want to do stuff that isn't part of my career, like helping trans youth and like talking to trans youth and to queer youth about my experiences, because I haven't had a lot, but I've had quite a bit. You know, I have enough to talk about and enough to relate to a younger generation and possibly help them, especially because I don't know if I want children, but being able to help the younger generation still would be fantastic. I'd love to just help.
I got one, I guess.
Yep.
Couple of questions, or one big one around, are you taking anything away from TCS that you feel will help you in both your professional and maybe your adult careers?
I definitely think that the agency they taught me and part of my being self-aware was definitely taught by them. Like, I've always been self-aware, but Matthew has called me out so many times, and I've been corrected so many times in such a good way, and like, you're talking too fast, or maybe you should look into this career path, or, you know, have like several options. Like, he's always been there, and TCS has always been behind me to support me, and I think, like, yeah.
But as you move on, and you don't have that support.
Yeah, I think that the things they've taught me will be enough, though, because like they do teach like a lot of agency, and I think that I've gotten this far on that and their help, but without their help, I'm still prepared to go into the world, you know. They definitely do prepare you for the world. I've done little job applications. I've done, like I said, Tammy's Business 101 class. You do a lot of like little practices before you really go out into the world.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. The only thing that I have to add is good job. Congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah, and actually, thank you for that project that you did, focusing on the West Central community, because that's where my heart is. I worked for several years at West Central Community Center in the youth programs.
Working with the people there was amazing. It was really nice, and they care a lot, and it was really nice to see people care so much about a neighborhood they're not even living in, or somewhere they used to live in, and just caring about the younger generation so much.
Yeah, it means a lot to me. So I love that area so much that I left the community center, started a new job, and then now have moved back in there as a tenant.
That's
So,
nice.
Thank you for that work that you've done.
Thank you. Yeah.
And
Yep,
one more
absolutely.
question, I guess, but Spokane is in desperate need of people, young people to stay here,
Yeah.
make it a better community. Do you have plans to go away and come back, hopefully, or just stay?
I actually probably am just going to stay. I think going to Spokane Falls Community College, I'll just stay. I have my boyfriend and my friends here. I I really enjoy Spokane too. Being queer here is absolutely phenomenal compared to where I came from. And the transit system, having so much freedom. Like, I came from Delaware. It's like there is a small community of gay people, but you see it when you go there, you know? You're like, oh, this is the gay section, and I don't really like that. I like just walking around and being able to be myself and feel safe like 90% of the time. Even like downtown, seeing all the rainbows and other queer people, it's great. You just can't be openly queer where I'm from as easily. So I really enjoy being here, and I really do want to stay here as long as I can.
Well, thank you, Micheal,
Thank you guys.
and congratulations. And we'll give you a round of applause.
Thank you.